Hello and welcome to Market House, the podcast where we talk all things Disney. My name's Caleb.
And I'm Caitlin.
And this week we talk about all the things you need to know from D23.
Let's dive in.
All right, and this is episode number 142.
Yeah, welcome back as always, everybody.
Welcome back. It has been quite the week over here in this household. Not only if you've been listening for the last few weeks, you know we're in the middle of a move. We won't spend too much time on that. We're still moving. Actually, the day you're listening to this, in a week, we'll be at the new place, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're hearing this on Monday. If not, sometime during this week, we move on Friday.
Yeah.
So we're so excited.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. So we're packing the house up. In the meantime, I had a little work trip. I spent my week over in Denver, Golden, Colorado area.
Mm-hmm.
And it was beautiful. It's actually warmer than expected. Lots of work. It was very long days. I'm very tired. I'm glad I'm home. But I was away, so you had to pack some of the house yourself.
Yeah.
So thanks for doing that.
Thank you.
But it also threw a wrench in our plans of like, oh, we have to play catch up now. So
yeah,
a lot of boxes need to be packed today and the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had some other exciting news that wasn't actually exciting come through. Long story short, we found out, was it like 3 or 4 days ago that we found out we got a call, or Caleb got a call while he was on his work trip from our current rental company, basically saying that the owner doesn't want to sell anymore, and if we would like to stay, we can.
Yeah. So that was just really? On top of this all, you got to throw that at us. I think it was more, we didn't have to do this whole thing. I mean, we could have just not done the search and packed up half of our home. We could have just stayed here. That would have been nice to know 4 weeks ago.
Not the week leading up to when we were supposed to leave. So
told them thanks, but no thanks. We already found a place and we're moving. So good luck finding someone new.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
they will.
They'll find one in 2 days and someone will be moved in here. So it's just been a crazy whirlwind of a month, to be honest. So we cannot wait to settle down in the new place, get unpacked, and just focus on fun stuff like Disney.
Yes.
And going to Disneyland.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Talking about Disney and all that good stuff. So we'll do that.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Speaking of exciting things, we just had a major event happen this past weekend, D23. And I literally cannot wait to dive in. There's so much to talk about.
There's a ton to talk about. So before we do, let's talk about the normal stuff. That is Patreon. We have a Patreon, markethousepodcast.com/support. Your support means the world to us. You can support us, number one, by listening to the show, which we appreciate, sharing it with a friend, and also supporting us over on Patreon if you so wish. Again, huge shout out to our supporters over there. It means the world that you throw a few bucks at us every single month to help make this show happen. It all goes right back into the show to make it happen. So thank you so much. Also, consider leaving a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify, both a huge help to the show. It's free to do, takes a few minutes of your time. You can leave a 5-star rating on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify and a written review on Apple. All right, let's get into the main segment. That is D23.
Let's do it.
All right, and that brings us to our main segment of this week's episode, and that is our D23 Horizons Recap.
Yes. And I have to say, coming into this weekend, I always get really excited for D23, but I feel like the past couple haven't been the most amazing. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think they were underwhelming and a lot of nothing burger because a lot of it ended up being canceled. Or scaled back quite a bit. So they haven't been great.
But even with that, with this one, I feel like my mind was blown. Like yesterday, we were literally glued to the TV, just like watching everything. And just some of the stuff that, we're going to get into everything you need to know. But just some of the stuff they announced, I'm just like, I'm just so excited for this one.
Yeah.
Like, this was a good one.
It was good. It was a lot announced. And so we're going to try and get through this. Again, we didn't have news just because this is honestly one giant kind of news segment.
Right.
So we're going to talk about it. We'll go through every single parks announcement. Actually, everything in the Horizons announcement we'll talk about.
Right.
And then kind of share our thoughts on those. So we had to kind of move quick because there was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This was nearly 3 hours long, the presentation.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be like an hour and a half. So we turned it on. We had to find basically like a janky YouTube stream, which, hey, shout out to all the YouTubers that live streamed this, that were there live at D23.
Mm-hmm.
You are lifesavers because Disney decided to just stream this on Fortnite, which I'm not a 12-year-old kid, so I don't have Fortnite.
Yeah, I don't
I'm just
understand.
kidding. Honestly, I've played it before. I just don't have my system set up because they're all packed away. So we couldn't watch it on Fortnite. But I was like, how are we going to see this thing? And so we found a YouTube stream. Thanks so much, again, for doing that, because we were able to share in the joy
Right.
of D23.
Mhm.
So we're watching this thing. I was supposed to go grab dinner, and an hour goes by, and I'm like, this thing's not ending anytime soon.
Yeah.
So like Caitlin mentioned, I'm glued to my phone. I turn it on. I'm not watching it while I'm driving, but I drive over to Chipotle to grab some food.
Mhm.
I have the audio on. I'm listening to it in line. Like, I just could not miss a single thing.
And I'm like texting you updates.
You're texting me
and
updates and taking pictures and taking notes.
There's so much to talk about.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
So this was the biggest and most anticipated event of D23. It was called D23 Horizons. If you're like, what does that mean? It's the parks and experiences segment of the conference. So if you're not aware or familiar with D23, there's a lot of breakouts, a lot of stuff. Like the media one was the other day, so they showed all the trailers and stuff for the new movies.
Mhm.
This one is all about parks and experiences. So
Right.
Disney theme parks, cruise line, and then you'll hear in a minute, there's also some weird digital stuff they announced.
And entertainment, like shows and
Yeah,
such.
and entertainment.
Yeah.
So there was a ton of announcements, and the most important thing, we got to lead off with this, was that Josh D'Amaro, who's the head of parks and experiences, said that none of this was blue sky. It's all actual in the work projects.
Which, if you go back in time, Disney has gotten themselves in sticky situations with saying things are going to happen, and they absolutely do not.
Yes, they get canceled, they get scaled back significantly. So
Mhm.
what they share at the conference does not happen in real life. It's like a third of what they said.
Right.
This one, he said, what you're seeing on screen, what we're talking about is going to happen. It is an active development.
Which
So,
I feel like in that moment really just put us on the edge of our seats because we're like, oh my gosh, everything that's going to come out of their mouth, like they're doing it, which makes me so excited.
I know. Let's
So-
get into it. Okay, first they let off with, and by the way, we're going to go through in the order in which they announced them.
Right.
So it's going to be kind of hodgepodge. First thing, Disneyland's 70th anniversary. So 2025 is when Disney will be celebrating Disneyland's 70th anniversary.
We didn't
And
get
that is it.
Yeah.
No details.
Yeah, no details on that. They did share the logo. There was some merch at D23 that you're able to purchase and kind of look through
Okay.
for the 70th. But other than that, that was it. It was like, we're having the 70th.
Yeah.
If you guys couldn't tell. All
And
right,
then
move on.
that's it. I'm almost positive he said, we'll talk about this later, but they never did. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe I heard that wrong. All right, next up, Avatar Land. So this was already announced. We just got more details around this new land
Right.
in the Disneyland Resort. So they confirmed that it will be located in California Adventure.
Mhm.
It will be inspired by the second movie Fire and Ash and future Avatar movies. So some maybe inserts. Again, we don't know what the future movies look like, but they do.
The
So-
second movie and Fire and Ash.
No, second
Right?
movie. Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yes.
It's like World of Water or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Second
Way
one
of
is
Water.
we've already seen. You're
Yes.
correct. Fire and Ash is the third movie,
Mhm.
and also including stuff from future movies.
Which Fire and Ash they announced in the previous days
segment. So
announcement.
it's the
Yeah.
third movie in the Avatar saga.
Yeah, I'm excited though. The concept art shows that this was going to be a water ride, so we did confirm that, obviously. Again, I'm not really entirely sure what they're going to do with that, if it's going to be like a Pirates type of thing, or if it's going to be more screens like a Navi River Journey
Yeah.
over in Animal Kingdom. But the concept art did look really great.
It looks cool. I think it'll be a lot of screens from what I'm looking
sure.
at. So I don't know. We'll see. Coco Ride coming to DCA.
You guys.
This was big.
Oh my gosh. I
This-
got so excited.
Caitlin was jumping for joy when this was announced. Construction starts in 2026, and it's another water ride.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
Which right when they announced it, I'm like, oh my gosh, is this replacing the one in not Magic Kingdom, in Epcot? What's it called? In the
Yeah, but they said California Adventure.
I know, but in my mind it went straight to, oh, it's a water ride, so they're doing that.
Oh, no.
But I don't know. Either way, I don't even care if it's a water ride. I'm just so happy it's Coco. So I'm
Yeah.
excited.
It's going to be really good.
Mhm.
Concept art looks fun. Again, who knows what they're going to do from that concept art. But the fact that they have construction kind of set for 26, this is exciting. Who knows when we'll get it? I mean, it may take a while to build.
Mhm.
But, and who knows where they're putting these things? What I noticed was they didn't really share, for the most part, where these projects are going to be located. So people are starting to speculate, and people are starting to get worried. Like, are they thinking, I've heard one, this is rumor, this was not an announcement. Let me make this clear. A rumor is that Pandora could possibly go where Grizzly Peak is, because that already has some water features, and it already has the look from the concept art. There's some kind of like pine jungle, not jungle, but like foresty
Yeah.
aspects of it. So they said, oh, that makes the most sense. I really hope that's not true. Grizzly Peak's my favorite part of the park.
Yeah.
I think what makes more sense is Hollywood Boulevard. It's not a huge, giant piece of land, but it's the most dated, and I don't think people would really care if they replace that area.
Yeah, but it does make sense for it to go over in Grizzly Peak because with the expansions that we're going to talk about with Avengers Campus, like I could see that kind of flooding over.
You're right.
And then with Coco, there's speculation that it's going to be going over where they kind of had the Plaza de Familia during the Halloween season over where Boardwalk Pizza is.
Yeah, so maybe they're expanding back there or replacing.
Like Goofy Sky School area.
Yeah, what's that land called though? Paradise Gardens.
Well, it makes sense though because Coco's Pixar. So
yeah,
having Pixar over there.
You're
so again, that would make sense.
Who knows? That's all speculation.
All speculation.
Not part of the announcement. Let's get on to actual official announcements. Disney Starlight is a new nighttime parade coming to Magic Kingdom. They kind of hearkened it to, it's basically an updated electrical parade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Electrical light parade. And that's going to be Main Street Electrical Parade.
Yes, there it is.
And then that's going to be in summer of 2025. So
exciting.
Super exciting.
That's pretty awesome. I love nighttime parades, so good for you guys over in Magic Kingdom. That's exciting. You want to take the next one?
Yes. And then next up over in Tokyo Disney, we have Reach for the Stars, which is a new and nighttime show. And this is going to be opening on September 20th.
Yeah, not many details. It looks like a fun nighttime spectacular. So good for you, Tokyo, for getting one. And then finally, Disneyland Paris is getting a nighttime show. This is going to feature projections on Main Street and the castle. This premieres January of 2025. And they also kind of gave us a sneak peek at a Adventure Bay nighttime show. This is their new water lake thing.
Yeah.
This will come out in 2026. It kind of looks like World of Color with the addition of drones in the sky. So it looks pretty fun.
Also in Paris, it looks like they are going to be getting a World of Frozen, which is set to open in 2026.
Yeah, this was announced already. We already knew they were getting Frozen. It's just they told us the opening date, which is 26. So good for you guys. That's fun.
But this next announcement literally blew my mind. It makes me want to book a trip to Paris like tomorrow.
I know. Well, not tomorrow. We got to wait till they build it.
Right. That's what I meant. But it looks like Disneyland Paris is going to get in the Adventure World area, they're going to be getting Pride Lands, which is a land inspired by Lion King.
That is awesome.
So sick. I'm so excited.
It's going to offer dining, shopping, character meet and greets, and a new ride to experience Simba's journey from cub to king.
And it looks very similar to the Tiana's Bayou Adventure ride. So it's a log ride.
Yeah, log flume ride.
Yeah.
So looks pretty awesome. I love the concept. We love Lion King in this house. So imagine hearing this land in
Circle of Life.
Come on.
And I can't wait to be king.
Hans Zimmer just blaring on speakers.
Hans Zimmer himself will be on the ride.
I'm sure he will, actually. I think he's a big Disney fan. So Disneyland's going to get a new show. This is going to feature a Walt Disney animatronic. This was big news. This was crazy. The way Josh D'Amaro announced this, you could tell they take a lot of pride in this. They kind of took a lot of caution and treated it with a lot of respect because having a Walt Disney animatronic is going to be a big deal.
Like, and this isn't Disneyland.
This isn't Disneyland.
Yeah.
It's going to be called Walt Disney: A Magical Life and will open at Disneyland's Main Street Opera House in 2025. You may be wondering, that's where Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln is. What does that mean for that show? After its initial run. So after they release and do this, I'm sure a few months or maybe a year of Walt Disney Magical Life, they're going to rotate between the two shows. So I'm assuming they'll have some kind of turntable system to where one side's the Walt show and one side is Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln.
I think that was a good move because I feel like if they would have gotten rid of the Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, I think people would have been really upset because that was Walt's
that was
project.
Walt's pride and joy.
So it's awesome that they're doing an alternative because it's good to have two different shows.
Yeah. And again, kind of a big deal that Walt's going to be in a park.
Right?
That's wild.
That's so awesome. Okay, next up for Animal Kingdom, we did receive more information on the Zootopia show that is set to replace It's Tough to Be a Bug.
Boo.
As long as I am very excited, but I'm also very bummed because we love that show.
I love It's Tough to Be a Bug. I know there's a lot of haters out there. It's slightly scary, but it is a blast. This thing's going to be called Zootopia Better Zootgether. Okay. All you haters, is that better? Zootopia Better Zootgether? Come on. That is so lame.
Just stop. We're having our positive pants
Sorry.
on. This is going to be super exciting.
I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun, but the name needs some help. It's going to open in winter of 2025.
They also shared some more details around the retheme of Dinoland USA, which we can all agree needs to go.
Needs to happen.
And it is going to go for sure. So the new area, this Tropical Americas themed land, will feature a town named Pueblo Esperanza, which is super, super exciting. It's not just going to have Encanto. It's also going to have that classic Indiana Jones ride. And
we'll get that in a second.
I know, I'm jumping ahead because I'm so excited.
I'm excited, but let's start off with the first thing they showed. Bruce Vaughn actually did the presentation for this. He's the head of Walt Disney Imagineering. He was very excited to share that construction will begin later this year, and it's going to feature a wood-carved carousel that features different Disney characters.
Yeah.
These are handmade figures on this carousel. It looks very, very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he says you're just going to love the way these things look. I believe one is on display at the convention.
Okay.
I haven't seen a picture of it, but I'm going to take his word for it.
One thing I am really excited about is that they are still catering to the younger kiddos.
Yeah, because Disneyland Land had some kids' rides.
Yes. So the fact that I know for some of us, we're like, a carousel, really? Having that option for the littles, like Jesse's Critter Carousel?
Critter Carousel, yeah.
Having that over in like DC, that's a really great option. And then obviously the main one at Disneyland, but that's just a fun ride. And I'm really excited to see kind of how the ride characters look since they all are carved.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Very cool. So let's talk about Indiana Jones. You're very excited for this. It's going to be a completely new story about Indy exploring a Mayan temple in search of a mythical creature.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be replacing, of course, Dinosaur. It's the same track,
Yes.
same ride vehicle. So that should be I would say easy, but easier than a normal teardown.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then next up, we have an Encanto attraction, which will have us exploring the casita in Antonio's room that has been transformed into a rainforest.
Yeah. So this takes place after the first film. There's not a second. I don't know why I said first film, but after the movie.
Yeah.
And Antonio's room is a rainforest.
I do love that they didn't just follow with the storyline of the movie. I'm really happy that they kind of did something outside of that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would have been an easy, let's just do the Encanto movie.
Yeah, as much as I'm not a fan of the movie, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't dislike it. I also don't love it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the casita is going to be pretty cool to see
For sure.
as a, backdrop. It looks like you'll be entering not, directly into the house, kind of like Magic Kingdom's Haunted Mansion.
Right.
So it'll be off in the distance. The
Mhm.
queue looks like it's bottom left. And so, but I'm assuming it's going to be interactive and that house is going to move and doors will open.
Yeah.
And it'll be magical.
I'm excited. All right. Another exciting news that we've all been waiting for. We're going to head back over to Disneyland. And again, like Caleb mentioned, we're going to flip flop everywhere because this is the order that they were announced. But Tiana's Bayou Adventure has an opening date. It will open on the West Coast on November 15th.
Yeah, some folks were a little surprised at how late this was. I don't know if I'm super surprised. I thought December in my head.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, but some people were like, it looks so done. It looks so finished. They're already testing it.
Yeah.
So maybe who knows what they're doing. I'm excited. November 15th sounds like a great date right before the holidays.
Mhm.
So all you holiday folks, you're going to be able to ride the new ride.
Oh, I literally can't wait.
Also, they snuck this in. This was kind of a what is happening? Critter Country will also be renamed to Bayou Country.
I love it.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
I think it's cool.
I don't know if
Especially-
I love it. I'm right in the middle of okay, we'll see. I don't know how Winnie the Pooh fits into Bayou Country.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we were talking about because, again, like we mentioned, was it last week's episode when they were talking about the re-theme for Hungry Bear? That makes sense to have that there because the Country Bear Jamboree element, but now I'm kind of like, the Bayou does not fit with Winnie the Pooh.
So what does that mean for Winnie the Pooh? So I hope long term it stays because we love that ride.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe if in the future part of Disneyland Forward that gets removed and replaced with a new attraction, who knows? But all I can say is the theming doesn't make probably 100% sense.
Right.
Okay, next up, they announced 2 new lounges that are coming to Walt Disney World, the first being in Epcot. They're going to be getting a Spaceship Earth-inspired lounge. Looks pretty cool. The concept art looks fun. And then the other is the already announced Pirates of the Caribbean lounge in Magic Kingdom. They just showed some more art about that. But they also shared that they are both opening in 2025.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Another place to get a drink, sit back, rest your feet, and sit in AC.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Enjoy some nice theming as well.
I love it.
All right, next up, we have an opening date for Test Track. All that we have is that it's opening in 2025.
Yeah, not so much a date, an opening year.
And it's going to be featuring 6 distinct exhibits and new show scenes.
Yeah, this one was kind of a lame announcement. They gave us an update.
Part of me was like, I hope they had new scenes.
Yeah, I know. This was kind of a nothing announcement, but they gave us that it's open in 25, so I guess it's something.
All right, next up. This is the one that literally blew my mind. Hollywood Studios is getting a Monsters, Inc. land, not just a ride, a land.
This is the most exciting. I'm probably the most excited about this announcement, to be honest.
Seriously.
That is awesome.
Oh, gosh. It's going to be featured Disney's first ever suspended roller coaster. And you're basically going to be flying through
the door scene.
The door scene, which again is so genius. And I saw so many people on Instagram that's like, I've had this idea forever. It's finally coming true. But it looks like, how do you explain the ride vehicle? You're strapped in, but it's not like a traditional coaster.
So a suspended roller coaster, you've seen this before at theme parks, amusement parks all around the world. This is where just your feet are dangling. So you're sitting in the thing. So it's much more thrill. And Disney's not known for thrill, right? They're known for theming and probably tamer rides. So we're getting a little taste of like, is this competition with Universal? Maybe,
sure.
you know, like they're trying to throw some
They need
thrill at us.
Especially with Epic Universe. They have to compete somehow.
That's true. We'll talk about that later. But the land is set after the events of the original movie where humans have been invited to the Monsters, Inc. world.
I know.
I'm excited.
I literally cannot wait.
If there's a Monsters, Inc., like it looks like you're eating at like the cafe maybe.
Or Harryhausen's.
Harryhausen's, come on.
Oh my gosh. It's going to be in Chinese food. I'm so excited.
Okay.
I just can't wait.
Next up, let's get on to the next announcement.
This one's a little weird. Where I'm kind of just like, I don't understand it.
No one understood it.
Yeah.
The crowd reaction was not rousing applause or screaming. It was more confusion.
And crickets.
And a lot of crickets. So, Josh D'Amaro on stage announced that Cars Land will be opening in Magic Kingdom.
Okay. Which are like, great.
Yeah. Leading off with, okay, that's great. They're going to maybe tear down some trees or something or some empty space and build Cars Land. No. They're going to be putting it in Frontierland. I don't understand the connection.
And it's not going to be Route 66.
No, it's just the Cars characters located in the West, in the Frontier. I don't understand this. So let's get into what they're looking at. The first attraction, it's getting 2 car attractions. The first is a rally race, looks like a thrill ride, through the mountains featuring geysers, rocky terrain, and mud holes. Don't know what mud holes mean. A hole filled with mud. And you run over it, and there's a splash everywhere? Am I going to get dirty in this ride? Tell me, Disney. And the second will be a family-friendly attraction geared towards younger kids. That's all we got. There was no artwork.
Yeah.
Just a kid's ride. So construction begins for this in early 2025. I am very confused as to why it's being put in Frontierland. That's my only gripe about it. I love that we're sharing the Cars love because Cars Land, the land in DCA, is probably the best themed land, in my opinion, in all of Disney. But for them to be putting it in Frontierland is a head scratcher.
Well, because, for example, if they were to put Cars Land where our Frontierland is over at Disneyland, we'd all be like,
What? Yeah, like, why?
So, again, we're excited for something new, but we're just kind of puzzled. Again, I'm sure when it opens, we're going to be like, this is great. Because, again, Disney theming and Imagineering is so great.
They'll pull that off, I think, but I just think it's going to take a little bit to settle in just because that was absolutely out of left field.
I agree.
So, next up, you want to share this one?
Yes. Are you guys ready for your mind to be blown?
This is Disney Cruise Line.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Disney Cruise Line is getting 4 new ships.
4 new ships in addition to the already announced 4 new ships.
You're like, take that, Royal Caribbean.
I think Royal has like 700 ships.
They do.
No, Disney's playing catch up. They are a younger cruise line. So they are set to arrive between 2027 and 2031. This addition brings the fleet to a total of 13 ships. That's a lot of ships, man, for Disney. I mean, they were dealing with 4 for the longest time, and then it feels like every single year we're getting a new one.
Cranking them out now.
Cranking them out. So this made us wonder and ask the question, are they not retiring the Magic and Wonder like it was rumored? People were thinking these ships are going to be close to 30 years old pretty soon, and in cruise line years, these are ancient ships.
Right.
Now, it's fair to say that Disney does not treat them like normal cruise ships. They refurbish them frequently. They are kept up a lot.
But like, especially the Magic, though.
It is
the
old.
Magic is
it's
rough right now.
Pretty stinking old.
Yeah.
They renovated some of the concierge rooms, but I think that's where they ended.
Yeah.
So the common spaces and stuff haven't really been touched. So I'm curious. I don't know. I don't think I care too much. I think the more the merrier, but I hope the price reflects the age of the ships.
Right.
So I think if they price them fairly and they price them as 30-year-old ships, I think that's fine. But if they try and milk every dollar out and it's still that premium price tag of, let's say, $4,000 for a family, that's probably too steep. So we'll see.
All right, next up, regarding the Disney Destiny, this is going to be featuring Disney Hercules, which is going to be the Broadway-style show. Usually on every Disney Cruise Line ship, there's one main show that you're like, it's either Beauty and the Beast, it's Frozen, Aladdin. The Disney Destiny is going to have Hercules, which a lot of people speculated, but this is something I'm very looking forward to. Yeah,
this is going to be awesome. This is on the Destiny. This is the, sister ship to the Wish and Treasure. I got to keep my name straight.
Yeah.
And we'll be, this one's sailing out of Port Everglades, so the southern part of Florida.
Okay.
So when I think this comes out in 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
We also received new artwork. Excuse me, I cannot speak today. I'm so excited. We received new artwork for the Disney Treasures kind of Broadway style show. It looks like they're going to be doing Moana, which
this looks
some of the
pretty
art,
awesome.
I always forget who that person is that they're reflecting. Is it Ka? No.
Maybe.
Ka?
It's the big flame guy. from Moana, and it's a puppet.
It's not a guy.
Yeah, it's
It's the
monster
island.
thing.
Tafiti.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I forget. Yeah.
it's a big puppet, and Josh tomorrow said he's seen this, and he says it's pretty awesome. So cannot wait to see that on the Disney Treasure. Next up, Smuggler's Run is getting a Mandalorian overlay. Mind you, they announced this during a weird Fortnite segment that took about 15 minutes of the show. Very confusing as to why this belongs in the parks and experiences. I guess you can say it's an experience, but I can do with a little less Fortnite next D23. I'll just say that. So this ride, Smuggler's Run, is going to feature a new story with Mando and Grogu. So I think they're going to treat it like Star Tours, where you can kind of put new stories on top of it. And these will be added when the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is released in theaters in 2026.
Yes.
So it adds some spice to it. The ride is already stale, I'll admit. We never ride it because we don't really care for it. But if there's a new show on it, that gives me a reason to go back on.
Right.
So I like it.
Exactly. All right, we're going to be jumping over to Shanghai Disney. They're going to be receiving 2 Spider-Man attractions.
No, Shanghai is going to be getting a Spider-Man attraction, and Hong Kong Disneyland will get one. 2 Spider-Man attractions announced, 1 for each park.
That's what I meant.
That's okay. Avengers Campus over in Disney's California Adventure is receiving not 1, but 2 new attractions. We knew the one. We knew the big e-ticket King Thanos ride. We do not know about number 2. So let's talk about King Thanos. I thought that was going to be the name. No, it's going to be called Avengers Infinity Defense.
Has Thanos always gone by King Thanos? I feel like I've never heard of that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think King Thanos has to do with the multiverse stuff.
Okay.
Again, we're very casual Marvel fans, so
For
excuse us if we're wrong.
Yes.
But Avengers Infinity Defense will be the e-ticket attraction inside that big building with the ship on top.
Yes. And then next up, the second attraction appears to be located right next door, and it's going to be called Stark Flight Lab.
Yes, this was a surprise. Stark Flight Lab. They showed a picture of Robert Downey Jr. riding it with none other than Bob Iger himself.
We love Bob's style.
The myth, legend. He was wearing some sick Nikes, man, in that picture. This looks like a bar fest. It is a robotic arm swinging you around 2 seats.
Circles.
And you just get whipped around, I'm assuming, in the theme of a flight test. This, I will not be able to ride this.
No.
I can guarantee you I will throw up everywhere.
I know. We'll have to just watch YouTube videos on this one.
Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. is returning to play Tony Stark for this attraction. My man is getting that check.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're paying him like $25 million to show up for 4 minutes in his Spider-Man suit, in his Iron Man suit, and be like, "Wow, you're flying, you cadet." And then $20 million, please.
Okay, let's fast forward to the final announcement here.
We went through this pretty quick.
Well, the more the merrier to talk about this one.
Yeah, okay. Drum roll, please.
The final announcement, dun dun dun, quite literally, was a new Villians Land coming to Magic Kingdom. First of all, I'm going to say, you were right. So
right when they announced it, I was like, shoot.
And people were messaging us, is this what you call Caitlin? And I was like, Caleb, I told you.
I was claiming it would not happen because in my head, I go, why create a land where I can go see the villains and stuff where half the selling point for your Halloween events are so I can see those same characters?
Do you want to know why?
I can get those spooky vibes. Why would you cannibalize one of your biggest money makers? People pay so much money to go to those Halloween events. Why?
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because Epic Universe.
I know why.
That's why.
I know why.
Because Universal is stepping up their game, which means Disney has to do the same.
I get it, and I love it. More competition means, I think, higher quality and some more awesome investment from Disney. I just was surprised. I'm not mad. I think I'm surprised about it.
Okay.
The land is going to feature 2 major attractions, dining and shopping. No other information was released, but Josh tomorrow said that preparation is already underway. Who knows what preparation means? That could mean someone wrote Villians Land on a piece of paper, and that means prep. So I think he just wanted to make it clear this is not blue sky. This is going to happen. I promise you, but you may not see movement for a while.
I am curious, though, with the Villians Land, and whenever that kind of makes its way over to the parks, if they will incorporate Oogie Boogie more in that area, like the whole...
Oh, man.
Or excuse me, no, that's not right. Mickey's Not So Scary.
Yeah.
I wonder if a lot of the party will be over there now, rather than across the park.
I can see that.
Yeah. Because that would be awesome.
That would be cool.
To have certain elements, like certain parades back there.
Yeah. I'm really curious how Disney's going to thread the needle of like spooky, but also not too scary for little ones, because an entire land dedicated to kind of scary stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder how intense the scariness will be.
I don't think it'll be to the point of like what Universal does with like Hollywood. Or I always do it. Horror Nights, not Hollywood Horror Nights. Is it?
I think it's Hollywood Horror Nights.
Is it?
I think you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always confuse myself. I don't think it'll be that element because that's just not who Disney is. But I also thought about that prior to like Deadpool coming into the park. And now I'm kind of like, maybe they'll make it super spooky. I don't know.
Okay, we're going on a rabbit trail. I will say I am absolutely surprised. I haven't seen the new Deadpool movie yet, so
you like Deadpool.
I do like
We're
Deadpool.
not dishing on it or anything.
No. I saw the first two and I love them. They're fun. They're very bad, but they're fun movies.
Yeah.
Not for kids. But I need to see the new one. But what I'm going to say is the character in the parks with the kind of like half inappropriate jokes, but like you kind of have to read between the lines. That is fun for adults, I'll admit. I'm just super surprised with Disney's brand that they're allowing that kind of raunchy humor in the parks. And then let's talk about really quick, if we're talking about Deadpool, his feature in the D23 Horizons show.
Oh, I know.
That was great. He was on stage forever.
I know.
He did a dance number and a sing-song thing, and he was making hilarious jokes about the parks and kind of jabs that I'm surprised that...
Which that was fun.
I know the real Deadpool didn't write them, but the writers for the event that Josh signed off on, like, oh yeah, let's poke fun at ourselves.
Yeah.
So that was fun. They talked about the Yeti being broken, how Maleficent, the dragon, burned up.
Yeah.
It was just funny.
Again, so anyway, circling back, I don't know what they're going to do with it. I don't think that they're going to make it so spooky where kids are like,
True.
But then if they do, that's great because I'm here for it. So
Wow, you want to scare children? Not cool, bro. I'm excited. I think it'll be awesome. I overall would say this was a very good D23, much better than the last couple. I think that's easy to say because, like we mentioned, so many of the projects were eventually canceled or scaled down. The pandemic had something to do with that a few years back, but we were a little disappointed at the lack of Disneyland announcements.
Yeah.
I understand that they're focusing their attention on Walt Disney World, like you said, with Epic Universe coming. They have to compete and keep some of those people from going over there, but a little love to Disneyland. We got some. A little more would have been nice.
So quick thought here. Do you think that they kind of, and if this is way off, be like, no, but do you think they kind of held out on Disneyland because they just did that massive expansion in downtown Disney?
No, I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
Why I think they're holding off is because Disneyland Forward was just approved. They didn't know if this was going to get approved by the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it just got approved. So why share Blue Sky stuff with us? Because if it was contingent on Disneyland Forward being approved, all of the probably in the works projects for Disneyland are all at Blue Sky's phase right now. Blue Sky phase, excuse me.
So again, so next D23 we'll probably get more on
That's
Disneyland.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think next in 2 years, we will see a ton of Disneyland announcements because they'll be more concrete. Dirt will be moving like Josh Tomorrow, or Earth will be moving like Josh Tomorrow likes to say, and more concrete for sure plans. Because if you shared Blue Sky stuff and some of that didn't happen, they would get absolutely ripped apart again.
Yeah.
So I think because of Disneyland Forward and the investments they're saying they're going to do, we'll hear more in 2 years.
I agree. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm very much looking forward to it. I think we'll be scheduling some more Disney World trips because of how much stuff they're getting.
Oh my gosh.
It makes sense. Again, we can't rip on them too much. We have to defend our home park and fight for it, Disneyland. But Disney World, I understand. It's easier to expand over. They've got so much land. They've got so much space.
Yeah, but this is also making me want to go to the other parks.
What does that mean?
Like, I want to go to the other ones now because they're getting all the good stuff.
What does other ones mean?
Like all the other Disney parks.
Oh, like international.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally. I didn't know what you meant by other.
Yeah. Like all the other Disney parks. I'm like, just the stuff that Paris is getting.
I've always wanted to go over there. I think it's just a logistical nightmare with the child.
Oh, for sure.
We'll have to figure that out.
I am excited though. And especially all the changes to come to Magic Kingdom. Like, wow. Like that's going to be awesome. But like you said, I do think in the coming years with the next D23 is when we're going to get that wow factor of like Disneyland's going to be like transformed.
Yeah, I hope so. I think it needs a little love. Before we let you all go, let's talk about our favorite announcement. What was your favorite announcement of the conference?
Honestly, I think the Monsters Inc. land.
Okay, Monsters Inc.
I love the whole Coco thing, but I love that we're getting a land of like Monsters Inc. And I feel like that makes me feel a little bit better of them possibly rumored getting rid of Monsters Inc. at DCA. Like I feel better now knowing that we'll be able to experience it somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we never touched on. Let's talk about that really quick.
Yeah.
What they showed for Avengers showed it encroaching on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yes. Which if you look at that kind of like that map, the way they, I guess, portrayed it, that's the area where kind of like the old dance parties used to be, like where the performances are, where Monsters Inc. is.
Yeah. So they showed some of that, like the plans for Avengers Campus creeping up into that area.
Yeah.
So then that kind of probably furthered the rumors that Pandora can't go there.
Right.
Because Avengers Campus is taking a chunk away. Unless the Pandora land will be the size of a postage stamp,
Which I highly doubt.
Highly doubt. So again, we don't know much. We don't know if Disneyland has plans to expand some more outside of the park boundaries. We don't know. This is all speculation. So I'm very curious what they'll do. Okay, so your favorite was Monsters, Inc.
Yeah, what's yours?
Over in Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
Mine will probably be Coco because that's going to be something we can experience immediately.
Yes.
And it's next door to us and we'll be able to go. That sounds so much fun. It's my favorite Pixar movie, or one of my favorite Pixar movies. And it deserves an attraction. So I'm very excited for that.
Same.
All right. What was your favorite one? Share it with us over on Instagram.
Yes.
And wherever you can comment it to us.
Please.
Thank you so much for listening. You can find us over on Instagram and Threads at Market House Podcast. Make sure to follow us over there for pictures from the park and exciting news and announcements. Consider leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, both a huge help to the show.
And just an update for the following week's podcast. We will be taking a week off because, like I mentioned, we are going to be moving this next weekend. So no podcast.
No podcast. Actually, right after we finish recording this, it's all going in a box.
Yes.
So we won't even have our equipment ready for next week. So 1 week off, and then we should be back the following week.
Yes.
We have a Patreon, markethousepodcast.com/support. You can find it over there. We've got some exclusive content for our patrons over there, and it's just a great way to support the show. Thanks so much. Remember to use your Getaway Today link for your future trip bookings. Check out the episode details for that link, and use code MarketHouse10 for an additional $10 off. Join us in a couple of weeks for another episode. It has been fun. It's been filled with Josh D'Amaro's love.
Bye.